hope you're doing well. Welcome to our first Mental Health Monday. I am so excited to share my story with you. Who knows someone who's been affected by a mental health issue? Someone you work with, a family member, someone close to you, yourself? 1 in every 5 adult Americans suffer with a form of mental illness currently, and 46% of us will experience a mental health illness during our lifetime. I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. First of all, I do not label myself or others. I do not have anxiety, but sometimes anxiety affects me. Putting a label on a mental illness is negative and unnecessary in my opinion. I'm not a psychiatrist, therapist, or counselor. All of the information given on this channel is from my own experience and research. So let's dive in. It's about to get real raw, folks. Buckle up. This is my story. It was winter of 2015, 1 week after the new year began. I was a senior in college, excited for graduation and for all the exciting things that lay ahead in my future. My boyfriend was following me in his truck on our way back to college. We were visiting my family for the holidays. I remember it like it was yesterday. Highway I-96, mile marker 6. It was dark and the snow was coming down. As I looked in my rearview mirror, I seen headlights turn right, then left, and then it was dark. My heart instantly fell out of my stomach. His truck went off the road. I quickly pulled over to the side of the road about 30 yards ahead of him and immediately dialed 911. I got out of my car and ran over to the wreck, not knowing what kind of scene that I'd be walking into. As I got closer, I could see that his truck was upside down. So I ran faster. Then I seen him. He had already crawled out of the broken window of the driver's side door. He was alive. I never cried harder in my life up to that point. 2 weeks later, I received an unfortunate phone call from my mother. The word you never want to hear: cancer. My grandma, who was one of my best friends, was diagnosed with stage 4 adenocarcinoma. Once again, my stomach dropped and I fell to my knees. When someone has stage 4 cancer, the cancer is metastasized or has spread and is usually advanced. But she was a fighter and she always had a positive spirit and positive outlook on life. April 17th, 2015, 3 months had gone by. Before attending my senior sorority formal, I called my grandma to wish her a happy birthday. My uncle answered the phone and said she was sleeping and relayed the message that I called. If I had known something was wrong, I wouldn't have gone to my formal. My mom knew that, so she kept it from me. My grandma had a stroke and went into a coma on her freaking birthday. I found out the next day. My boyfriend rushed me across the state so I could be with her. I walked across the graduation stage 8 days later. I was excited to be receiving my bachelor's degree, but couldn't help but think about my grandma and how she was supposed to be sitting there next to my mom. It was a hard day. Exciting, but hard. My grandma was in a coma for 2 straight weeks, and then she passed away. We all knew she wasn't going to wake up, but we still held on to that little ounce of hope. I never got to say goodbye. And maybe that's a good thing, because what do you say to someone knowing that it will be the last thing that you ever get to say to them? After graduation, I spent every day with her at the nursing home, sitting next to her. I spoke to her and told her about my future plans, reminisced about fun memories. Part of me believes she could hear me, but I'll never know in my lifetime. I can't tell you exactly when it happened, but at some point, my body and mind, they were just done. I felt broken. My body experienced 2 major traumas in those 3 long months. I stopped driving my car, and I couldn't be alone. The anxiety and fear were unbearable. I couldn't breathe, and I felt trapped in my own body. I was at the lowest point in my life thus far. I didn't drive for an entire year, and it was debilitating. A freedom I once had was taken by something in my head. I developed slight OCD along with the anxiety and was embarrassed to tell anyone about it. Not many people knew the exact extent of how bad the anxiety actually was. It wasn't just a little fear. I literally could not function the normal life I once had. Side note, I absolutely hate it when people say X, Y, and Z gives me anxiety when they really mean it just makes them uncomfortable. The word is thrown around a lot without understanding what anxiety really means and how you feel compared to just not liking something and feeling uncomfortable. Like, I wouldn't say performing on stage gives me anxiety because it doesn't, but it does make me nervous, and there's a difference. And maybe those people really do experience anxiety, but a lot of time when I hear that phrase, it comes across as extremely arrogant. My heart is pounding. This is the first time I'm publicly opening up about my story. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. When anxiety started taking full reign of my life, I remember saying to myself, I don't know how yet, but I want to help others in my situation. If I could just help one person, all of this pain that I'm feeling would mean something. There is light in darkness. This is my outlet, and this is my chance to give back and help others heal and live a positive lifestyle. Oh, and the boyfriend from my story, he's now my husband. He loved me before I faced a mental illness, and he continues to love me through my healing journey. Surround yourself with uplifting people. I will tell you all about my healing process and how I gained back control of my life next Monday. Subscribe now so you don't miss out. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and comment below future topics that you'd be interested in. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my mental health story. I thought it was important to explain what I've been through first before going into further topics. Lotus love.